She was 19 years old, a peasant girl who had shattered armies, humiliated kings, and altered the course of European history, now sat chained to a wooden block inside an English fortress. Iron rings bit into her ankles. Male guards never left her cell. The same empire she had defeated now controlled her body, her fate, and the story that would be told about her. This was not a trial seeking truth. This was an execution written in advance. Joan of Arc would not die on a battlefield. She would be destroyed slowly through isolation, intimidation, coercion, and fear, inside a prison designed to break her spirit before the flames ever touched her skin. What happened to Joan in captivity was not justice. It was a political ritual disguised as religion. On May 23, 1430, Burgundian forces captured Joan of Arc outside Compiègne. At that moment, they held the most valuable prisoner in France, not because of her military rank, but because of what she symbolized. Joan was living proof that God favored the French crown. Her victories had crowned Charles VII. Her presence made English occupation illegitimate. To destroy her was to destroy the idea that France had divine support. In November, the English paid 10,000 francs, an astronomical sum, to purchase Joan from her Burgundian captors. She was transferred to Rouen, the administrative heart of English-controlled France. By December, she was imprisoned in the castle of Bouvray, controlled by the Earl of Warwick. Joan was no longer a prisoner of war. She was a political weapon waiting to be dismantled. On January 3, 1431, Joan was formally charged with religious crimes. The court was led by Pierre Cauchon, Bishop of Beauvais, a man deeply loyal to the English occupation government. His role was not neutral. His loyalty was already purchased. The accusations included wearing men's clothing, claiming to receive divine visions, refusing to submit fully to church authority. The real question was never Joan's faith. The real question was this: were her victories the will of God or the work of demons? If Joan could be declared a heretic, then Charles VII's coronation could be declared invalid. On February 21, 1431, Joan was led into the castle chapel to face 42 clerics. She agreed to swear an oath to tell the truth, but refused to answer anything that might endanger the king she had crowned. For over a month, she endured relentless interrogations. The judges pressed her on 3 issues: the nature of her visions, her refusal to submit unquestioningly to church authority, her continued wearing of men's clothing. They attempted to trap her with theological paradoxes, questions designed so that any answer could be declared heretical. One question was especially dangerous. Do you believe you are in a state of grace? Joan understood the trap instantly. Church doctrine held that no human could know this for certain. Saying yes contradicted doctrine. Saying no implied her visions were false. Her answer stunned the court. If I am not, may God place me there. If I am, may God keep me there. Even her enemies could find no fault in it. Originally, Joan faced 70 charges. After weeks of questioning, these were reduced to just 12 articles of accusation. Her intelligence unsettled the court. Some clerics began to question the legitimacy of the trial itself. One tribunal member resigned, stating the proceedings were designed to entrap Joan rather than uncover truth. Another challenged Cauchon's authority to judge the case. He was immediately imprisoned. The message was clear: dissent would not be tolerated. Throughout the trial, Joan's imprisonment violated every principle of canon law. Female prisoners accused of heresy were required to be held in church prisons under female supervision, usually by nuns. Joan was instead imprisoned in a male military fortress, guarded by English soldiers who despised her. She was chained to a heavy wooden block. Iron shackles were placed on her feet. 3 guards remained inside her cell at all times. 2 more stood outside the door. She had no privacy, no rest, no safety. Witnesses later testified that the guards harassed her relentlessly. Joan lived in constant fear. When she fell seriously ill with fever and believed she was dying, she begged to receive the sacrament and to be buried on sacred ground. Her requests were denied. Later testimony revealed an even darker reality. Multiple witnesses stated that Joan faced physical threats and attempted violations during her imprisonment. One testified that a powerful English lord attempted to assault her. This explains Joan's insistence on wearing men's clothing. The tightly bound garments offered protection. A woman's dress would have left her exposed and vulnerable among male guards. Joan argued this repeatedly. The judges dismissed her reasoning, but the danger was real. By May 1431, theologians from the University of Paris reviewed Joan's case. Their verdict was predetermined. Her voices were declared demonic, her clothing unnatural, her refusal to submit heresy. She was told to recant or burn. On May 24th, Joan was taken to the cemetery of Saint-Ouen and placed beside a stake. Terrified, weak, abandoned, she broke. Joan signed a document recanting her visions. Her sentence was commuted to life imprisonment. She was ordered to wear women's clothing. Days later, the judges returned to her cell. Joan was once again wearing men's clothing. She said the voices of St. Catherine and St. Margaret had rebuked her for lying. Later, witnesses testified that guards had stolen her dress, leaving her no choice. Either way, the result was inevitable. Under canon law, a relapsed heretic received no mercy. On May 29, 1431, the judges unanimously sentenced Joan to death. On the morning of May 30th, Joan was led to the old marketplace of Rouen. She was tied to a tall pillar. She asked for a cross. An English soldier made one from 2 sticks. She kissed it. As the flames rose, Joan cried out repeatedly. Her final word was, "Jesus." She was 19. Her body was burned twice more. Her ashes were thrown into the Seine. The English believed they had erased her. 25 years later, a rehabilitation trial overturned the verdict. In 1920, Joan was canonized. They burned a heretic. They created a saint. Joan of Arc's trial was never about heresy. It was about power, about fear, about silencing a symbol too dangerous to live. This is Hidden Secret Tales, where history is stripped of myths and the truth is allowed to speak from the darkness. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe. Because the past isn't gone. It's watching, waiting, and remembering who dares to tell it.